All right, everyone, thanks for joining us. One thing we do want to say is that Doreen and I aim to get us out of this meeting a few minutes before 2 Eastern time. So that's just less than a 1-hour meeting for us, also since we're getting started late. Again, thanks to Amber, our minute taker. What we'd like to do is, first, since this is our first meeting together as a group, we'd just like to do quick introductions. So tell us your name, where you work, your position, and any education-related library experience or research that you're working on. And we'll just try to keep this really brief so that we can move forward. But it's a good practice just so we get to know each other and hear each other's voices. Who'd like to start?
This is Doreen. I'll start. So Alex and I are co-chairs for this committee. I'm the education librarian at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. And as an education liaison, my interests are in open education materials and working with international students. I'll pass the mic to someone else.
Hi, this is Amanda Ziegler, and I am the Professional Studies and Online Outreach Librarian at the University of West Florida, which is in beautiful, sunny Pensacola, Florida. And I work with education students as well as social work students primarily, and I am particularly interested in online learning for education students. Many of our education students, particularly at the master's and doctoral level, are completely online students, and so their use of resources is kind of my area of research right now.
Okay, I'll go next. My name is Jennifer Masnaga. I'm from equally sunny Los Angeles, California at Loyola Marymount University. I am the education and psychology liaison, and I have many projects going on right now, but education related, I believe we're doing curriculum mapping of the graduate education syllabi to see where they're doing any information literacy-based research projects. And we will be also making a graduate level online tutorial someday, I hope.
Hi, this is Liz. Can you guys hear me okay? My microphone wasn't working earlier.
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Oh, good. Okay. This is Liz Johns. I am at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, Maryland. And as of Friday, my title changed to Learning Design and Technologies Librarian. But I'm still the liaison to our School of Education, which is about 1/3 face-to-face, 1/3 fully online, and 1/3 hybrid. So I get to work in all of those different platforms in teaching students and working with students. So that's a lot of where my interest is in online and in those hybrid environments and how we can reach and teach students in those different ways, particularly using different types of technology.
I'll go next since there's a gap here. Hi, everyone. I'm Alex Hodges from American University in Washington, D.C. Thanks so much for, again, for joining us. I am the Associate Director for Instruction Research Services for our main library, and I'm also the manager of our education branch and curriculum materials library in our School of Education. And my focus is mainly teacher education, but like many of you, I also have a strong interest in need to keep up with online learning initiatives.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Amber Gray. I am also the Education and Psychology Subject Liaison here at the University of Maine in Orono, Maine. And I am very interested in many of the things that you have mentioned. I create the video tutorials for the use of electronic resources here at our library. So that's been an area of interest for me, for sure.
Okay, well, this is Doreen. I'm going to go on with the agenda today, and Sarah will be able to hopefully join us on audio. If not, Sarah, you can, as long as you can hear us, just use the chat box. Let me copy and paste our committee charge into the chat box. Just to take a couple of minutes and talk about our committee's expectations and commitments. Today is our midwinter check-in, and then we're going to have another meeting around the time of ALA Annual. We're hoping that everybody can be there in person, but we know because of budget situations that might not be possible. So if you are going to ALA, maybe you can let us know, and we'll decide then if we want to have an in-person meeting in June or if we want to schedule another virtual meeting so that everybody can participate. So looking at our committee's charge, we're to provide a base of operations for librarians who serve the education field, and the goals of our committee are to include identifying best practices and resources useful to our committee, as well as addressing current issues. Activities of the committee will include evaluation and discussion of resources and services, development of activities and programs to improve librarian skills, and coordination of liaison activities with other professional associations or even other EBSS committees. So one of the main takeaways that we'd like to plan for this meeting today is to brainstorm project ideas for this year. If you remember earlier in the fall, I guess it was in August, I sent out a survey to gather the interest of our committee members on open textbooks and open education resources. And I just wanted to share that of the results, overwhelmingly the responses showed that for the question, I need to become self-educated about the open textbook movement, 5 of the 6 of you thought that that was either somewhat or very important. And the same goes for, I need to prepare myself on how to talk to my faculty colleagues about open textbook movement. 5 of the 6 of us, including myself and Alex, thought that talking with faculty about OERs are either very important or somewhat important. So Alex and I, as part of our charge, have touched base with some of the other EBSS committee chairs to find out if there are any other committees that might want to join with us or if we can help them. And we were trying to get a feel for other committees that are working on a project that is specifically geared towards education librarians. One of the ideas that came up was now this year EBSS, as you may know, got the LibGuides platform membership for all of the committees. And so I'm trying to think, I think it was Scholarly Communications Committee. One of the other committees is working on migrating the Education Librarians Toolkit from our website, from our EBSS website, into LibGuides. So between OERs and perhaps something using the LibGuides database or platform, I'd like to open up the mic now to hear what are some ideas that you would be interested in as far as projects that our committee could do between now and the end of our fiscal year. I'll close up my mic so you all can talk now.
Hi, this is Jennifer. I remember how I said I had many projects going on. Another one of the projects is that I'm the interim LibGuides administrator at Loyola Marymount. So this isn't a new idea or anything, but I'm happy to help work on our group's LibGuide if that work is needed. It just gives me practice, frankly, that I so desperately need.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Okay, I'm breaking our 12-second silence as a good educator. Everyone, this is Alex, and you know, I mean, even though we're all new to this committee, maybe some of you are obviously on the EBSS listserv. You've seen some of the discussions that are coming up or have been in the past. There's an open textbook initiative conversation that's coming up next. It's later this week on Thursday, I believe. There are lots of different things that we can do as a new committee. As Doreen mentioned, some of the things that might be easier for us to do is partner with other committees. So the Reference and Research Services Committee is going to take a look at managing the LibGuides, as Doreen had mentioned. With Scholarly Com, they're the ones who are working more in the OER domain. And while we've met with their chair, our collaboration work with them isn't quite clear yet. But the chair of, as Doreen mentioned, the chair of the reference committee is much more maybe open to having us work on the Education Librarians Toolkit work as we convert. So that's definitely something that we can do. And Jennifer, thank you for sharing your expertise. We'll make sure to draw the connections there. Maybe if we don't have any ideas right now, one of the things that we can do in the interim, over the holidays, and check back, Doreen and I can check back with the group in January too, is to make sure that your voices are heard. There are other projects that you might want to work on. And this is just generally, because we are a new committee, we don't have a history, we don't have any assignments. It's kind of a challenge for us to get started on new things. So, we've all been appointed, lucky us, to this committee to kind of see it forward and to set a foundation for future members. So please don't hold back in sharing your interests and your ideas as they develop. And right now.
Well, okay, I'm very interested in the open textbook concept, and I was one of the people who said I know nothing about it and I'd love to learn more. So I really just want to second that as a main project that we could work on. Other things that I'm hearing, obviously in California, is anything to do with resources for educators about fake news. Just trying to find, point people to the right resources, not create the resources ourselves, but just define who has made those guides already and how we can like facilitate that to school librarians and public librarians and academic librarians.
This is Amber. At the University of Maine, we actually have a textbook alternative program that the university has been working on, which is sort of suggesting to professors that perhaps they use alternatives to expensive textbooks. And so we've been talking a lot about open textbooks and open educational resources in that context. And I actually put together a LibGuide about open educational resources, which I would be happy to share with the group if that would be a useful thing.
This is Doreen again. So at GW, we are just starting a OER or open textbook initiative, and I have a LibGuide also on basically the different types of OERs and also some places to look for open textbooks. I think that in the field of education, one of the things that is missing is, or one of the things that can be developed is a list of education subject-specific textbook alternatives and different repositories where we could, when we're talking with faculty, suggest places to look for textbooks. Does that sound like it rings true for anybody else?
This is Amanda, and that's absolutely something that I know I would use in talking to my faculty that I work with, so I can definitely see where that would be helpful to others probably as well.
Same here. I think that'd be a really useful resource for everybody.
Well, that's helpful for us as we go forward to see that there's definite interest in doing more work on OERs and faculty and curriculum support. Some other topics beyond OERs and the Education Librarian's Toolkit that have been mentioned that are part of our charge include creating new either supporting guides within the Education Toolkit about some of the other niche areas within the larger domain of education. So those might include special education or international education. These are topics that obviously, while we all treat to some degree within our various curriculum, they're not represented by committees within EBSS. So those are some other potential directions, whether it's in the toolkit or it's sponsoring a webinar or other ideas that we might have as a committee. So again, I think our purpose today is one, to hear each other's voices, to start collaborating as much as we possibly can with with the seeds of these ideas, and then moving forward in action. So I'm going to punt it over to Doreen and see what more action, specifically with OERs, she has in mind for the group.
This is Doreen. So I think what would be the most helpful to the most people, or the most of us, would be to collaborate on a list of places to find education open resources, education-related open resources. So I sent the link to my research guide, and one of the tabs is Finding Open Textbooks. There's several different sources, places where we could go to search for education textbooks or education-related materials. But then what we need to do is just gather all of this information and host it somewhere, put it together. So that might be either a LibGuide in itself or a tab with several boxes that would live on the Education LibGuide. If anybody else has ideas, please speak up. Okay, so if we would go forward with a LibGuide on education-related open materials, who would be willing to collaboratively work on this project?
Oh, this is Jennifer. I'm very interested in helping. Maybe building the physical LibGuide.
Thanks, Jennifer.
This is Amber. I'd be happy to work on it too.
Thanks, Amber. Okay, well, perhaps, like Alex said, we can also, each of us, think about another area that is of interest to us. And if you would email either Alex or I your ideas by January 1st, maybe we could then have a couple of projects going, because we want this committee to be relevant to you. And if OERs isn't relevant to everybody, perhaps a couple of us could work on that project, and then others could work on a project that they feel would be more useful to them in their liaison responsibilities. So Alex, is there anything else you want to do to finish up this discussion?
Thanks, Doreen. I don't think there's anything more that we can actually do at this moment until ACRL gives us access to their version of the LibGuides platform. That's something that we know is in progress and hope to hear more about in this next year, and especially at through midwinter. For the committee, just a reminder, Doreen and I mentioned earlier, this is our midwinter meeting, so there is no midwinter meeting. EBSS actually doesn't hold midwinter meetings for the most part. Although committees can choose to meet, but obviously that's not going to be the case. And Doreen and I are not going to be in Atlanta, unfortunately. So I think the next best step for us is once we hear back from the leadership, we'll get in touch with you. In fact, just 2 minutes ago, we got a message from the incoming chair of EBSS to start another round of committee appointments and a check-in on where we're at with our committees. So hopefully we'll get some feedback and information from the leadership, and then if you all can, by the beginning of January, let us know your other ideas. Take this time to brainstorm over the holidays, and thank you so much for going along on this ride with us. We know it seems a little bit uncertain. We're very honest. We weren't really sure what we were walking into with this new committee, and again, we're being encouraged to make it what we want to make it as its members. So unless anyone else has any other comments or questions, I think we have a start for 2 possible projects that we can start working on as soon as we get the go-ahead with access to LibGuides.
Hey, Alex, I had a quick question about ACRL 2017. So I guess will we be meeting at ALA annual rather than at ACRL this year?
Yeah. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks. That's a really good question. The EBSS doesn't tend to have meetings during the ACRL conference, again, because it's every 2 years. We might, for those of you who are attending, and if Doreen, forgive me for speaking for you, but I think we're both planning to be there since we're local. Liz, it's your city too, so I hope to see you there. What we could do for the people who are attending, we could create like an informal happy hour or something and talk and see where we are at that point later on in 2017. And that might be a good idea. It's not required by any means, and we hate to leave people out, but just sometimes it's nice to be able to see each other face to face, especially if people can't attend ALA annual.
Okay, I'm in a situation where I can probably attend one, but not both. So I guess I was thinking, like, which one would I put my hat into?
If you, this is, I feel like I should put it this way. I personally would love to see you at either event. It's, I would say to you, think of the best bang for your buck. And if you're like me, you're probably thinking that the ACRL conference in Baltimore would probably be the better choice, because there's so much more professional development for us as academic librarians.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Doreen, do you have any other thoughts?
My only other thought is just that at ALA annual, I thought that Alex, you and I are required to be there, but I'm not positive about that. Or we could just give an update. I know I'm going both to ACRL and ALA, and I'd be happy to represent us at ALA if most of us are just going to be at ACRL.
Yeah, I'll be at both too. Already, just from Jennifer's discussion here, and Jennifer, if you'll just keep us posted about what you choose to do, but that might just help us think that for our next official meeting, that maybe we do need to have a virtual meeting instead of a face-to-face meeting if everyone can't be there. We don't have to decide that this very moment. So that's one other thing that Doreen and I will be, I guess, gauging as we get closer to the end of the spring. So when we know what everyone's schedules are, maybe a month or two, probably 2 months out before annual. All right, folks, is there any other questions or remaining thoughts or comments that you would love to share at this very moment? Okay, I counted to 12 again. It was a fast count, though. So with that, Doreen and I are so grateful, again, for your membership, and we look forward to working with you all. And obviously, you'll hear from us in the new year. We'll probably send out a reminder as well to get us your ideas as the year comes to a close. And you can always reach us if you have any questions or concerns. Otherwise, we wish you a very happy day today and hope that the rest of the month goes well for all of you. Thanks so much and take good care. Sophie, thank you so much for recording our conference meeting, and it'll make it available to some of our members who, I think we do have another member who wasn't able to attend today.